So everybody join in here. 1 second, please. Do 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 do. All right. Oops. That there, there, and there. Okay, cool. Good, good, good. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. Well, I hope everybody had a great trading day today. Happy Tuesday. I guess it was a little bit of a turnaround Tuesday today. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. So, anyway, good stuff, guys. I thought it was pretty funny. We're doing the series on when is the top in, and today was like, oh my goodness, I think the top might be. So, but we got a big dip by today. So, I'll show you guys the wave count a little bit that shows that things still might be pretty bullish, and then we'll go from there. But anyway, guys, today we're going to be talking about continuing the series here. When is the top in? And today we're going to be talking about some indicators to kind of help give us some clues, and then we'll go from there. So, it's good stuff. So today, everything we're going to talk about, as always, is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Do, 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 do. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look and see where we left off in the market here today. And then we're going to take a look at the futures and see what we're up to or down to here this evening and what might be, setting up going into tomorrow. And then we'll go through the topic and then we'll take questions and chart requests. So let's get started. All right, so SPX guys down 28 points today, but I thought this was interesting since we just started the month yesterday, and we pushed red, and we talked about yesterday the importance of candlesticks, and watch those monthly candlesticks, right? And it was funny that the monthly chart is actually ticking red right here, and I just thought it was funny that, hey, maybe the top isn't, but we got a lot of month left, and we really need to see how this month closes, so we'll see where we go from there. Weekly chart, guys, and we're going to touch on this in a little bit more, in a little more detail, but we've got the weekly chart coming off the upper Bollinger Band here, a little bit overbought here still on the RSI. So we'll see how it goes, right? There still could be room here to the mid Bollinger Band here on the weekly chart, also a possibility. Daily chart, interesting move, right? So we closed below the ADMA today, right? If you go to the SPY, we actually had increasing volume today, but they did give us a lower shadow right here. We kind of held onto these levels. And so that actually gives us something really interesting to look at when we look at our Elliott wave count. That we have a possible bullish count right here that is still in the works, right? So, just kind of going with this last wave up, right? We have this wave 1 ending diagonal, right? Little sharp, little narrow ABC wave 2, 1, 2, 3, wave 4 triangle, right? And then 5, right, of 3 was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 3, right? That's the idea, okay? So good stuff there. And then we have this ABC pullback wave 4, so we got the 1, 2, 3, 4. And this may actually just be a subwave 2 pullback, right? So what I'm looking at here is the potential. I kind of look at it like this. You had this 1, 2, shallow wave 2. We've got plenty of shallow waves. 3, right, here, and then 3, 4, and then 5 to finish up the wave 1 truncated fifth. And then you have your ABC pullback right here, and it's still valid, right? We haven't taken out the start of wave 1. Right, so this is a very, very good, interesting possibility right here. If this is the start of wave 1, right, and this is the end of wave 1 here, right, and we just basically pulled back to the 886 and started to launch off of that here today, right? So this could be the part of a larger wave up, right? So basically we're going to have 3 of 5, so 3, 4, 5, and we'll see if that ends up finishing at 5 of 5. Right, so we'll see how that goes here. Again, it's possible we could see a little pullback right here. This is wave 1. We could see a wave 2 pullback, right? Bears might get excited about that. And then if they start launching up, that could be a 3 of 3. So that'd be a 1, 2, 1, 2. And then we'll see where we go from there. So good stuff. Let's take a look at the S&P futures and see what we're looking at here today and what's going on this evening and what might be setting up into tomorrow. So good stuff here. So let's take a look. So here we got a tight range here after hour, guys. We're basically down $1.50. It's kind of just hopping around between green and red. Really, really tight. The market has no idea what it's doing right now. We had a big push. Look at the volume on this candle right here at the end of the day. Good grief. If that's legitimate volume. Oh my goodness. Look at this. This was at, right at the end of the day, 93,000 contracts traded right at the end of the day to push this thing up. And we also had an MOC on the close of like $2 billion on the buy side. So I think it's very, very possible that could support that wave 2 finish, and we could be working on that larger impulsive wave up. So again, really choppy right now. One of the big moves today, guys, was this. I talked about this being a geometric move day, and it really was. There wasn't a lot of news to kind of pin this stuff on. The big kind of headline today was the tensions between China and Taiwan. So that's a possibility, but it was this big geometric line here this morning. We put the bubble report out. We were kind of up here this morning, and then not too much later, we flushed right through those levels, got right to our signal zone, and then here was an excellent short opportunity right here into the open. Right, there was one more retrace off of these levels, the push through the single prints, and then a good move there. And then we got kind of this inverse head and shoulder reversal here today through that signal zone and the single prints, and gave us a nice move up there with a lot of volume. So we're just really, really tight here into tonight. So we'll see it. We'll see if we get it. It starts to shape itself up a little bit better going into tomorrow. So good stuff. All right, well, good. So that being said, let's take a look at the topic here. So as we've been saying this week, when is the top in? So yesterday we talked about candles and the importance of candles, and today we're going to just talk about some indicators. And I really want to show you this. I think it's important to look, like we said yesterday, at the monthly chart, right, when we're gauging the candles, just to kind of get some clarity. The weekly chart, I think it's really important to. This is a great tool to have on here, and you guys notice I keep it up, and I started to put it up a little bit more when we were kind of getting to the point where it's starting to get overbought on the RSI. But RSI can be really, really helpful on the weekly chart, especially when combined with the Bollinger Bands, right? So a lot of times when we get we close above the upper Bollinger Band and we're overbought on the RSI, a lot of time that starts to give you some clues that we may be looking at a pullback, right? And then from there we add our divergences, right? So here you can see before the Corona crash, right? We closed over the upper Bollinger Band and overbought on the RSI. Okay, and then we had bearish divergence right here, and that led things to the downside, right? So now we can kind of look at the last one, right? We closed over the upper Bollinger Band here on the weekly chart. We got overbought here on the RSI, and now we're seeing some bearish divergence here as well. So does that mean we're heading into a big crash? That'd be cool, but doesn't look like it's necessarily in the works right now because of our wave counts, and we're still holding on to a lot of key levels, right? But we'll talk about more ideas this week to kind of determine that. But I want to add one more study here, guys, just so you guys can look at it. We've talked about it in the past, I think like a year ago, even 2 years ago. But the McClellan oscillator. Okay, a lot of times when folks, this is a classic indicator, right? It's in the Thinkorswim McClellan oscillator. Really, really powerful tool, and a lot of folks use it. A lot of old traders who've kind of paved the way with indicators, things like that, have used this thing. And when it gets overbought and oversold, right, a lot of times we can look for some reversals. But what I found is something is really interesting. I kind of look at it, if you can kind of look at it as a breakout or a breakdown indicator as well, if you exceed the 100 or the minus 100. And we've talked about this in the past with CCI. But the McClellan oscillator is really interesting, especially on the weekly chart. Right, look what happened here, right? So the initial down move here, kind of started, right? So this kind of got things started right here. Notice how we crossed below while RSI was overbought, how we kind of crossed below here simultaneously. Isn't that interesting, right? So when you think about it, normally when you look at stuff breaking down, you look at the RSI, it's overbought and it pulls back. Right. Well, back here, like the McClellan oscillator was kind of getting to testing those overbought levels where we were going up, and then it started to kind of act like a weight, right? Just kind of weighing on the market here. Isn't that interesting? Right. So pretty cool stuff. So when you see these overbought levels, but you see it hanging a weight as like a weight down here, that can often show some increased movement. So now if we go here and we kind of scroll forward, notice how any of these pullbacks that we had were just minor pullbacks, right? We never crossed the minus 100. Just pulled back a little bit, and kind of bounced, right? And so here you can see we got overbought again on the RSI, but look where we are. We were basically overbought here on the McClellan oscillator as well. Are we anywhere close to crossing minus 100 like we did back here? No, right? You can see the same thing here too. This is back in 2018, the big drop in 2018, right, to the end of the year. Right, look what happened, right? We pulled back here. We never got overbought here on the other side, but look what happened. The McClellan oscillator here back in October, mid-October, started to cross below. Does that mean it was a straight move down? No. There was some choppy action, but it was showing you something was up. So at that point here, when you start to see this, look for your price action, right? Let it come to you, right? Let it make sense right here. I mean, inside, weak, down, right? So I'm just really, really cool stuff. Same with the SPX, right? Like we saw here back in the Corona crash. So cool stuff here. I mean, we're basically just still a little bit kind of in the the elevated range right here, but so far, if anything, maybe just a little bit of a pullback. We'll see how it goes. Until we cross over the minus 100 on this weekly chart, it's hard to really say that the top is in. Okay. So good stuff. I think it's a cool tool. Add it to it. You can test it out on some lower term time frames, but I think it works really neat there on the weekly chart. So we'll keep an eye on that, especially if we start to see some more movement. So good stuff there. Hopefully you guys found that helpful. At this point, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those in the chat window, and we'll get through as many as we can and try to wrap up as early as possible, so we can all get a good night's sleep and have another awesome trading day tomorrow. So good stuff there. Let's take a look and see what we got. So let's see. Let me go to the daily chart here. Let's pull this over, and we've got Shirley sent a few in via email. So let's take a look at a few of these. So good stuff here. So Shirley sent a few via email. Let's take a look. We've got CVS. Shirley, I hope you're doing great out there. Thanks for the charts. And so let's see. So yeah, CVS, huge breakout candle today, guys, on earnings. So we basically just hit all-time highs by like 10 cents. Right? If you kind of scroll back here, let me show you. Oh, let's go to the weekly chart. It's easier to see. It was like right there. Oh no, 82. Sorry, I thought it was 81.25. I got them transposed. So, but yeah, 81.35. Recent here, obviously the high of the year, a 52-week high. So big breakout there. Again, I'd keep an eye on this one and see if it gives us a pause day going in tomorrow, and then we'll see where we go from there. Let's take a look at PPG. PPG. So waiting for some data. Nice breakout candle on this one too. Again, same thing. We're always cautious with breakout candles. I do like how it got to these levels. There's the momentum move potential if you traded it intraday. But let's see if it gives a pause day, or if it breaks above those highs, if it tries to make a move off of that. CVS, let's see if it takes out those highs tomorrow too. That could give a potential momentum move as well. KeyCorp, again, guys, we're seeing a lot of these kind of financial names that were had some relative strength today. So nice doji up here today with a strong 52-week high on that one as well. And then PNC, right? So another kind of banking name type move right here. A good push, good volume, right? We started tracking this triangle here earlier. It started to break out there and give us a nice move to the upside. So good stuff there. Appreciate it, Shirley. Have a great night. Really appreciate it. And Dylan sent a few in via Twitter. And again, we're looking again at TRIP. So let's take a look at this one. Down 15 cents today. Gave a nice push, right? We had that upper shadow off the ADMA. Nice push to the downside right here. Ended up turning into a little bit of a hammer today off of that 50% that prior 50% retrace. So see how it goes. Again, still under a declining ADMA. So see how it handles it if it comes back and retests the cloud. So good stuff there. And then let's take a look at Yelp. And so Yelp. Yelp getting really tight right here, right? So a nice drop here today, but what we can do is, now that we have that lower shadow, right, is we can go like this, and we can go like this, and just kind of move things down a little bit on that. So again, just kind of pushing the triangle a little bit, and we've got earnings coming up on the 6th, right? So kind of a tricky one here, but 1, 2, 3, 4 triangle. Maybe if it breaks out, we can see a wave 5 up. So let's see how that goes here for Yelp. So good stuff. Thanks, Dylan. I really appreciate it. And Mike, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're doing great. Yeah, let's take a look at Save. Save. Let's see. Here's some good stuff. Let's see. So yeah, Save, guys, was kind of had that diamondish type look to it right here, that kind of feel, right? Triangle slash or megaphone slash triangle, right? And it's still kind of chopping around in this range at this point. Now I'm just like to see how it handles this range. This is probably gonna be bright blue here for you. Let me edit this here, here, there. Okay, let me make it a little bit. There. So yeah, just kind of chopping around in this range right now. So let's see how it goes. So look for a breakout one way or the other. See how it handles the cloud. It's kind of in the middle of the cloud right now. So good stuff there. And what else? And we've got hold on one second here, guys. Sorry. Yeah, just drifting a little bit up there after hours. So good stuff there. And then PLBY. Let's take a look. So PLBY, wow, big candle on this one today, increased volume, right? So what do we say about this channel, right? So came back down, tagged the channel, bounced right off. This channel is really ended up being an important area for this thing. So see if we can work its way up. If it ends up tagging this level right here, it might be a shortable area, if it off of this kind of these 70s, right? So kind of keep an eye on that too. Maybe put the McClellan oscillator on and see if it's ready to make a big flush, that type of thing. So good stuff there. Thanks, Mike. Really appreciate it. Bullish Bearish Trades, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Let's take a look at the XLF. Again, big move on this one today. Shirley's pointed out a couple banks earlier. Nice, engulfing candle today with big volume. We pointed out some nice moves on Bank of America, JP Morgan today in the group today. So that was, just kind of a strong sector out of nowhere. And this is kind of gave me the confidence. Look at Bank of America, guys. This gave a beautiful harmonic move intraday today. Here, Look at this. Beautiful move today. We love those. And so anyway, just a nice run up here today. Great volume came in, right? Nice follow through, and just got kind of chop there for the rest of the day. But cool stuff there. Again, we saw that kind of across the board on a lot of banks. The JP Morgan, a couple of them didn't. Like I had WFC on the radar today. Just it was just a dip buy, and that was about it. The DIA, let's take a look. So Dow Jones again hanging in there. Good volume here today. Much stronger than the S&P, right? So nice hammer above the ADMA on that one too. Disney, let's take a look. Disney. Yep. So Disney again, kind of in this this kind of falling wedgish type triangle, right? Maybe working on a wolf wave, right? So 1, 2, 3, right? 4, 5, right? So let's see if it can kind of push out of these levels right here with some increasing volume and get going, right? So we got earnings coming up on Disney too. So so good stuff there. And then VLO, let's take a look. VLO. Nice breakout of the geometric line here today. This was good too. Shirley was talking about this one last night. Could be a potential doji sandwich up. So nice move on the this name. A lot of these energy names, oil names have had some good strength recently. Good stuff there. Thanks, Bullish Bear Trades. Really appreciate it. James, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's take a look at X. Marking the spot up $1.95 today. It's back to being a FANG name again. You gotta love it. This is incredible. These metals have been just epic, right? So big push here over these levels here, right? Very, very nice. Look at the volume today. Incredible move on X. And drifting up a little bit after hours too. So really, really good stuff there. And then Caterpillar, guys. Let's take a look. There it is. Looking pretty good, right? So we got some nice geometric levels right here. Right, so let's see if we can break above these and kind of get going here, kind of triangulating here. So good day today, good volume, right? Let's see if we can get over these geos. So nice stuff there. Awesome, James. I really appreciate it. And 2020 says it all. I love it. Let's take a look at Fubo. Let's see how Fubo's looking right here. A little bit slow on the data loading here, but getting close, right? So this is a rough retrace on this one. Let's take a look. We got this. This, 1, 2. Here, kind of right at the 786, barely touching the 886 on this one. So nice lower shadow on this one. Gosh, I'd like to see you get over the ADMA here and see if we can make a run up into for a little bit of an earnings run. So let's see how that goes there. Good stuff. And then the GLD. GLD, guys, good follow through from the other day. Right, and then nice guy. And this is gold is such a difficult name to trust here with its charts. It's just it's usually all over the place, and it's because it trades overnight, right, and all that stuff. So it's always like, what's going on? But yeah, pushed up a little bit here this morning, kind of gave you a tweezer top, and then pushed down right back to the ADMA. So let's see how that goes here on the GLD, and then GMBL. Let's take a look. GMBL. Let's see. Pulling back here, it's below the ADMA. Right, kind of an interesting little breakdown out of this little kind of mini geometric line here. Oops. This kind of breaking down. So, I mean, you might want to test this as a target if it continues to stay weak, right? So, see how it holds 10, right? And then see if it tries to bounce off of that. It's a good one to keep an eye on there, too. Good stuff. Thanks, 2020. I really appreciate it. And then the Nest, what's going on? FSLY. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Let's take a look at this. So, earnings coming up. Looks like tomorrow after hours. So again, tricky stuff right here. We're holding that prior support right there. So hopefully they try to push this thing back up again. Otherwise, watch out. This thing could be nasty. Lots of levels below that it could test if it really wanted to. Here, and then down there. Gap. Whew. It's been strong. It was an epic move for a while, this FSLY. It gave a couple of huge moves, and then it was just like kind of pulling back there. So let's see what they do. Let's see what they do on earnings. Some good stuff there. True. Let's take a look. Yeah, so TransUnion, like we said, that nasty shooting star candle up here, it did pull back a little bit off of that, but could be working on kind of like a little kind of subharmonic in here. We'll see if it tries to go. Let's see, look here. I'll show you. It's kind of looking, a little bit-ish like this, a little bit extended right there. Not quite a shark, but interesting stuff. So, again, it's still over the ADMA. We had some good volume the other day off of a green candle. Again, as long as it holds these levels right here, it looks like we're okay. It filled the gap and kind of did its job off of that shooting star. So good stuff there. And then ANET, let's take a look. ANET with a push down right here below the ADMA, increased volume after earnings, and a big spike here after hours here too. So let's see. It's kind of putting us right here. So it's putting us up here. I'd really like to see it get over this this 320, basically like 323.50 tomorrow to try to get a little bit of a gap and go, and then obviously getting over this 326.60 if it could get there. Could be like a good gap and go potential there for ANET. Otherwise, look for the fade on that one. So a little bit of caution there. And then wow. Let's take a look. Wow. So good candle on this one here too. Today, good strength on that one. Not really seeing a any after hours trading on this one, but it looks pretty strong here after earnings. Nice engulfing candle on that one. So good stuff there. Thanks to the Nest. I really appreciate it. And Zax, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Let's take a look at Adobe. Let's see. Adobe. So, nasty candle on this one. We were actually looking at this one on the bearish trader the other day. We ended up opting with the semiconductors, but Adobe with a nice breakdown candle right here. And great follow through today. Really incredible stuff. I mean, this would have been pretty epic, but 500 right down to almost 25-point move on that. So, again, lower shadow right here, but if it breaks down below these lows, I wouldn't be surprised if it came down and tested its 200-day moving average, right? 50-day, I like how they're kind of both, running it right along each other. So it'd be an interesting area for it to test, right, and then see how it goes. But the lower shadow today could give it some hope, so we'll see how it goes from there. And then CRWD, let's take a look. One sec. Yeah, CRWD, very, very similar, right? Kind of these software names very, very, kind of running together. So you have this geometric breakdown right here, upper shadow off the ADMA, and then have a nice day, right? So still below the daily cloud with increased volume, right? So again, a lot, just like the market itself today, good volume, red candle, but that lower shadow, right? So we really just want to keep an eye and see how these move. There. Okay. So good stuff. Awesome. Good stuff, guys. Great. I really appreciate all the chart requests tonight. And looks like a light cloud today, but it was kind of an interesting day today. So we'll see how that goes. But hopefully you guys are enjoying this topic. If you guys are new here, please click subscribe on YouTube and hit the notification button. And whether you're new here or not, please hit the like button. It goes along great. Even if you're tuning in later and checking out the recording, please hit the like button too. We always appreciate that. So anyway, guys, good stuff. Really appreciate the requests and questions. I hope everybody has an awesome rest of your evening. We'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow, and we'll continue this series tomorrow as well. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying a lot of stuff in the public Twitter feed too. For those of you who are in our group, we've been putting some good ideas out there as well. Dash was an epic, had an epic put flow, right? And that ended up turning into a quadruple on the options that we pointed out. And a couple other good ones out there too. So anyway, guys, really appreciate it. Hope everybody has a great evening. We'll see you guys bright and early. Until then, stay healthy out there and remember your risk first and stay safe. See you soon.